imagine you're talking to the creator of the universe about the person that you want to become. And so you say, I want to be courageous. And the creator replies, then I will give you monsters that terrify you. That way you can conquer them. And you say, well, I want to be patient. And the creator replies, then I will make you work harder and longer, and nothing will come easy to you. That way you can learn to wait. Or like, okay, well, I want to be wise. And so the creator says, then I will give you failures that will crush your spirit. That way you can learn the value of judgment. Then you say, that sounds like a hard life. Can you give me a good life? And the creator replies, just like we measure the quality of a blacksmith by the strength of his steel, I measure you by what you are at the end, not the fire and the hammer that it took to make you. A good life isn't an easy life. A good life makes you into a good person. And that, my child, is a hard life. Fear is a mile wide and an inch deep. And so it looks like this vast ocean of like, I'm gonna drown. But as soon as you take the first step, you're like, oh, this is a puddle. And there's a quote from Jocko Willink that I love that's recent, that's been top of mind for me, which is, besides death, all failure is psychological. And it's just when the longer you think about it, the more you're like, wait, all failure is just me drawing an arbitrary line in the sand that I say anything that does not meet the standard will force me to be upset. That's it. And so it's like, okay, well, if I don't die, then I can keep going. And if I don't die, then it means I can stand it. It's about who we become doing the work more than the outcome from the work itself. And I love this, and this is a reframing of Proverbs, but the work works on you more than you work on it. Like in all labor there is profit. Meaning we always benefit from work, even if the thing that we work on gets destroyed, even if you went bankrupt, even if that relationship didn't work out, even if that partnership falls apart. The work you did is eternal because it changes you.
Everybody, when I was sleeping on the gym floor, right? Like, I was the underdog, and everyone, my clients were all like, oh, good for you. You're going after your dream. They'd see my blanket and my pillow in the corner of the gym, and they knew I was sleeping there, and it was evident. I lived there. I didn't have a shower. I didn't have a shower to go to the YMCA to go shower. And that everybody was like pro me, and then people would come in, they sign up like, I'm gonna support you, right? And then within 9 months, I had hired people, and I had a manager, and I pulled up, and I remember I walked in the lobby, and all the same people were like, oh, boss man's here. Oh, you're not too good for us now, right? And I remember being so jarred by the experience, and I was like, you guys rooted for me. And I was like, and now I did what you said you were rooting for me to do. And that was when I realized that people want you to do well, but not better than them. And I was like, I had gone from underdog to the man. And I was like, when does that happen? I had a performance coach tell me this. He said, hatred isn't something you avoid. He said, it is a requisite for success. He said, if you get no hate, you are not successful. And for some reason, that just like really stuck with me, because then it just like, rather than it being this thing that I was trying to avoid, it actually became a leading indicator, or an indicator that I was on the right path in achieving things.
The thing with memory is that it's tricky because it doesn't actually like work like a computer. You selectively remember the good things and you don't remember the bad. And so what's interesting about reward and punishment is that punishment fades, reward sticks. So for example, like the reason that the morning after you're hungover, you're like, I'm never going to drink again. And then 7 days later, you're out at the bars and drinking again. It's because the punishment of the drinking fades, but the reward stays the same. And it works across everything. So the reason that you break up with a girlfriend and then a few months later you're like missing her is because the reward is still there. And the pain associated with the person fades. And so to go back to the original question, was like, why do you do what you do? I don't think anyone can really answer the question in general. I think people can create a narrative. Like I could tell you a story, my dad didn't hug me enough, or there's this big pie in the sky thing that I really want to accomplish and I think humanity needs it. Like these are all really compelling narratives and they've been repeated a lot of times. I think they're just answers to questions. I don't know if they're actually reality. So one of the big reframes that I have in my head is that if you don't know why you believe what you believe, it's not your belief, it's someone else's. And so if you can't explain, like, why am I not doing this? If you can't actually explain it, it's because there's someone else's voice that is influencing you that you're not aware of. And so I try and name it. Yeah, the naming is the key part.
there's this quote that I read from Kobe where he said he thought that it was going to be super competitive in the NBA. But when he got into the NBA, he realized that people, well, they figured out that they had made it and weren't willing to sacrifice as much as he was to continue to win. And I would say that realization has been somewhat true for me, which is that like winning, it's like it hasn't gotten harder from the actual doing stuff side. There has been the trades that have been different than I expected. But especially when you're looking at the population of everyone to 100 days of doing something in a row, there was a friend of mine who he offered a guarantee on a product that he sold. And the guarantee was this. He said, all you have to do, you can get all your money back if you just open up a Google Doc and say what you're going to do every day. And at the end of the day, you're going to say what you did. That's it. And you just do that for 6 weeks. That's all you have to do. And if you do that, you don't get the results, I'll give you your money back. And what's crazy about that is when he was talking about it, he said, do you know what the completion rate of twice a day doing something is? He's like, it's like less than 1%. He's like, so I can happily do it because it seems so simple. And so I think we underplay how simple success is and extrapolate an expectation of how easy it must be from that. And then we're disappointed or dissatisfied when it doesn't meet those expectations. Like, it is harder than we expect, but also the rewards may be also greater than we expect. I mean, I think Naval quoted this blog a long time ago, but desire is a contract you make with yourself to be unhappy until you get what you want. And if you basically know that you're never willing to put the work in to get the thing.
Yep.
Basically, I've had to recalibrate my entire scale to how little of a thing can happen that makes my day. How little of a thing can happen that makes my week. How little of a thing can make my month. And like, how crazy would it be if a year from now I say, 2025 was a great year. You know, I woke up pain-free for probably like 70% of my days. That was a great year. But like, I got to have coffee with Layla in the morning once a week, and that filled me up for the whole week.
You cannot wish for both strong character and an easy life because the price of one is the other. When I think about pain, I think about what thing am I paying for right now? And is that thing something that I want? And if so, it reframes the pain as the price of the thing that I want.